Good morning, happy Friday. We're having some technical difficulties with Rogers, so you won't hear any music today. So traditional yoga doesn't tend to use music anyways, it's mostly a distraction. And I use it to set the pace in your mind, but you can just hear the voices in your head. Today's reading is about child's pose or balasana. And for a lot of people, it's one of the first yoga poses that you're encouraged to use. It's a resting pose, it's a comforting pose. The theory is that a lot of other poses are going, your energy and your mind are going outward, and child's pose is everything coming inward. It's used to help your lower back. It's the pose that we finish the last few moments, days, weeks, months in our mother's body because it's one of the only ways that we could have fit in there still. So it's called fetal position for a reason, or child's pose. Sometimes we'll offer it on our side, especially if you're pregnant or you have lower back or knee issues. Sometimes when we do knees to chest or double leg wind relieving pose is another variation. So is little boat. And here's just a little reading about balasana. Can you treat yourself with love? Can you hold yourself in the same gentle way that you would hold a child or a loved one? Balasana is a Sanskrit name for child's pose. And when we gently fold forward into balasana, we feel safe, held, nurtured. Our pulse quiets and we begin to relax. Our ability to hold and nurture others is infinitely greater when we learn to hold and nurture ourselves first. So they always say how could you properly love another person if you don't love yourself, the very first person you should have loved? On that note, I know a lot of children actually have pretty good self-esteem, and I'm always curious, when is that moment in your life when it stops? Is it puberty? Why does this change, and what can we do to help hold on to this self-esteem that we did have when we were younger? Our ability to hold and nurture others is infinitely greater when we learn to hold and nurture ourselves. In balasana, we hold ourselves lightly but sweetly, curled inward towards our own center, and caring for others begins with our own self-care. So in yoga, at different points in our practice, or in our physical yoga, we do move into poses that kind of replicate fetal position, and they feel comforting. I'm going to generalize. They feel comforting, especially to your back, and especially if there's a lot of stimuli going on in the outside world. That drawing back within, and sometimes we'll even refer to tortoise as a similar, doesn't look like child's pose, but it's a going within pose. A lot of forward folds are held in that kind of esteem. A squat reminds me also of that same child's pose, kind of compacting everything back inward. So we're going to do a little bit of floor work, and then there's been some requests to work on chair pose or Utkatasana today. And I'm just going to quickly read you Utkatasana and then we'll get moving. Utkatasana is a chair pose, and from there sometimes we go into awkward pose. And it's meant to energize the entire body. Just like a plank is meant to help muscularly engage the whole body, Utkatasana is very similar, but it's a standing pose. It stretches the back of the legs and the calves, engages the Achilles, tendons, ankles, and thighs. And it's also used to help strengthen this relationship between core and back. So I think of it as our flesh corset. And then there's a little mantra here. It says, I allow life's energy to stream through me. So we'll come back to that when we do Utkatasana. First floor work, then sun salutations, then Utkatasana. I always like to start on the floor. When you're in my in-person classes, we do this mainly. We have this opportunity to start on the floor, to start low. And what I like about floor work is that it is more inclusive to everyone's body. The up and down piece is something that I do hear from some students who've never practiced yoga before, or their body isn't matching the usefulness of their mind. So that up and down piece gets frustrating, so a lot of people don't even try, or they don't want to come to class. So you can always do your whole practice on the floor. You know how much I love it. So coming onto my back, knees to chest, without even forcing the knees in, I'm automatically in that balasana or child's pose or fetal position. I instinctively rock side to side, even if I didn't ask you to. I do this to massage my back. That rhythm, we talked about creating synapses in the brain. That's going to happen from this movement. And it just feels good. If you watch babies and animals, there's a rhythm in their body, often without someone telling them to. And then I'm going to start to add circles, that churning motion. This is used for digestion and to help the lower back. And then if I take this whole thing in deeper, we're coming into double leg wind relieving pose. And you'll hear me talk about the Ayurvedic properties of double leg wind relieving pose, compressing thighs into belly and digestive organs. Or sometimes we do single leg wind relieving pose. The name wind relieving pose is pretty descriptive of why we do it. So I'm pulling it in. This compression to the belly and elimination organs is a benefit, but it also helps release my back. And look, it's exactly child's pose again. I'm gonna rock side to side, and sometimes we'll even purposely go, how far over can I go without falling? Then sometimes we add the arms, how far over can I go with my arms out of the way? And guess what the twisting action is gonna do? Helps my back, helps my core, opens my chest. So you might prefer one, oh, I'm almost all the way to the floor, back to center, over to the other side, almost all the way to the floor, back to center. And there's this deep stretch diagonally across the back lines of my body. I love this. Let's come back to stillness. Pull the thighs in. Your choice, hands around the knees or behind the thighs, whichever feels better. And you're gonna pull the thighs in as deeply as you can into your belly. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, press your back into the floor, especially your lower back, and pull the thighs in even deeper. My diaphragm shifts out of the way, and there's space for more compression. This is awesome. The benefit of this pose, I'm sure you've heard my telling this story, I was reading that when we eat in a circle as a culture, we get this action of a bellow, almost of a belly being compressed every time we reach to the center to eat. So if you've gone for Ethiopian, there are other nationalities where the food's in the center. You might use a piece of bread or a banana leaf instead of cutlery, and you're scooping in. Even the Chinese way of eating where you have a little bowl and you bring some food into the little bowl, you reach and bring it in. North American, we fill the whole plate, we sit upright so we're not doing that compression of the belly, and we basically shovel the food to us. So we lose that one piece of the digestive process. Let's take both knees over to the floor on the left, double leg spinal twist. Today I'm going to throw alignment to the wind and drop my right arm out, palm up. I could use the left hand to deepen the twist. I've tried to get out of that samskara habit. And I bring my arms to a T and gently let gravity help me in this twist. The arms get nice and heavy. My upper back gets open. My front chest is open. Spread the fingers. Turn on those hands. Hasta Bandha. And then back to center. Here's that choice again. Knees to chest or little boat. There's the fetal position coming back again. Now I'm going to take my knees to the right, double leg spinal twist, and release that left shoulder. Check in with your other side of your body. Was that an effortless move, or do you notice tension being held inside one side more than the other? Each time I breathe out, I want to anchor that left shoulder, helping to open the upper back. And then back to center, little boat. Each time I do the little boat, I know there's some of you who really always want to work on core, so guess what? Arms are not involved, feet are engaged, belly engaged, and I can make this a core dynamic pose. I can make it a loving pose, super relaxing. Let's pull our right leg in, slide left leg straight, single leg wind relieving pose. You may just pause here, waiting patiently. Shoulders stay down, and you're drawing that right knee towards you. And watch that I bring it in alignment with my hip. I almost think of it as lined up with the shoulder. There might be a tendency to pull it in or gently pull it out because your hip is tight. Try to bring that back in the center. We don't do fully squared off hips this way very often. But guess where we will be visiting again? Chair pose. Left hand takes right knee over, single leg spinal twist. Keep the right shoulder grounded. Take that knee over. And once more, checking in with your body. Where's the area that it doesn't want to let go? Take a big breath in and maybe go a little deeper or accept it where it is. Back to center. Knees to chest, little boat or circles. Then we'll take our left leg in tight. Right leg drops, your choice. Bend that right foot to the floor or slide it straight. Gently pulling that left knee in. So Aurora friends, if you're looking for some trails, after all those years, I lived in Oak Ridges for 7 years, I finally made it to this trail. It's so beautiful. It started on Parker. and it goes quite a ways. There's some boardwalks, marshes, very well marked, and there was hardly any people on it. Parker, so off of just north of King. That's one. There's so many others that my friends in Oak Ridges keep telling me about. I used to live near one that I would go to on Worthington, two on Worthington, and so take advantage of getting out of your comfort zone in your neighborhood. Right hand takes left knee over, single leg spinal twist, so set up the shape. Your choice, stay here or use that right hand to guide the twist a little deeper, as long as the left shoulder stays down. Back to center and little boat or circles. While I'm here, I want to take those knees wide, set them up, supporting the knees, and checking in with your hips. How do they feel today? This is very similar to the position it would be if we were doing squat or garland pose or malasana. Choosing to stay here or wide double leg wind relieving pose. I keep the legs wide, but I walk my hands down the shins and pull the thighs into my side body. There's that squat, there's that fetal position. Option to come into happy baby, staying still or rocking side to side. Feet together, and let's just pull the feet towards us. Tiny little hip stretch. And then release. Recline cobbler. Recline goddess if you bring the arms into cactus. And then close your knees. Let's roll onto our side in preparation to come up. And coming all the way up, we're going to come right into tabletop. How about as a gift today, we're not going to do the plank. Coming into tabletop, palms under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Engage the core, press the bum in the air. So that's the same arched lower back or banana back we do in chair pose, Utkatasana. And then drop it into cat. Inhale cow, 2 more rounds. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Once more, inhale cow. Excuse me, exhale cat. Tuck and walk to the top of your mat. Bending at the knees, hinge, let your head go. Swaying or give yourself a hug and fold in. There's that inward motion of some of our poses. And then arms to the side, rise up, reach up, tiny arc behind. Oh, back to the sky, reach up, arc to the left, back to the sky, reach up, and arc to the right. Wide arms, swan dive. Half back. Fold, plant. Maybe today's chaturanga. Coming into a plank, elbows bend, slowly lower. Belly will be the last piece. And we'll take 2 breaths in sleeping cobra. While I'm here, this is not total relaxation. I'm still engaging my core. Pick up your head, baby cobra. Press back into dog. Pedal your dog. Right foot forward, left knee back, low lunge. Squared off and solid, or tuck and rise. Hands release, feet together, fold, rise, heart center. Inhaling up, exhale, fold. Half back, fold, plant. Maybe this time I'll untuck my knees and slowly lower my heart between my hands. 2 breaths, sleeping cobra. Pick up your head, baby cobra. Press into dog. Pedal. Left foot forward, right knee back. Cat hairs. Low lunge. And choosing to stay here or tuck and rise. Hands release. Taking your feet to the mat. Feet together, fold. Rise, heart center. Here comes the chair. This is a request for Yana. So I'm going to inhale, arms up. I'm in mountain. Sitting back into chair. Knees track. You don't want the knees going out or in. There used to be a theory that you would track in line with your second toe. You can see my back. I've kept that curve. Old school, we would flatten it. I'm gonna bring my hands to heart center. I'm gonna twist to the outer left thigh.